Hey, Neil here, and today I want to talk about what you should look for when you're about to hire a media buyer or outsource your YouTube ads to another agency. And there's a couple things that I look for when I'm hiring media buyers that can be applied to you guys as well. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So there are four key things that I recommend that you look at when you're outsourcing your ads, whether it's to an agency or a media buyer. The first one being experience, and I mean relevant experience. So you want to make sure that the agency or media buyer that you are outsourcing to has experience in your specific industry as well as your specific marketing channels. So what do I mean by this? Say you're an e-commerce store, make sure that the agency or media buyer that you're outsourcing the ads to actually has experience with e-commerce stores. A lot of times agencies will focus on one vertical like webinar ads or sales call funnels, right? You wanna make sure that the agency has, and media buyer has the experience in your specific niche, because what's gonna tend to happen is, say a company has a lot of experience with webinar ads, they're gonna bring those strategies that work for webinar funnels into your e-commerce stores, and more often than not, those strategies will not translate. You wanna make sure that the experience is relevant. The second thing I want you to look for is the spend level. You wanna make sure that the agency or the media buyer that you are outsourcing these ads to is comfortable with your spend level. I would recommend that you're between 50 to 70% of their average spend level. What do I mean by this? Well, the next time you're about to hire an agency or a freelancer, ask them, what is the average size of this the spend in the accounts that you are working on? Say if it's between $100,000 to $200,000 per month, you want to make sure that you're spending between $150,000 to $170,000 per month, right? This will also ensure that the company or media buying team has enough level of detail and dedicate enough level of care to your account that's needed. Now, the third thing, and it's probably the most important thing that I recommend, and this is with hiring as well, is making sure that you're following up and checking references. Now, not only do I mean the references that the person or team provides, but I also mean talking to some of the case studies and testimonials that they have on their website or their LinkedIn and stuff like that. I'll tell you this from firsthand experience. I actually, when I was looking to hire one of my previous media buyers, I went on their LinkedIn and I saw that they worked with a couple big names in the industry. And I thought, hey, this is great. This person has tons of experience. They've worked with a couple big names. This should be a great fit all around. I actually did end up reaching out to one of the people that the media buyer had put a case study testimonial from, just to do my due diligence. And it turns out when I talked to the reference that they actually didn't recommend this media buyer at all. And they said that the quote that they used didn't actually come from them, and it was quote unquote a fake testimonial. So this was pretty disheartening for me to see. And I actually didn't end up hiring this person because of that. Because this was one of those things. I wanted to make sure that the references that they were providing were actually legitimate, as well as the experience, right? So you want to be doing this with both your agencies and your freelancers. And this is often a thing that most people overlook because it is a little bit tedious. Now, the final thing that I recommend is hiring someone, whether it's a team or an individual, and making sure that they're full stack. What do I mean by this? So maybe you just need a person to manage your ads, but what I recommend is hiring someone that has a little bit of a background with video production or cinematography, as well as they know how to copyright, they know how to write scripts and stuff, and they are aware of general internet marketing trends. This is going to translate in your ads tenfold, right? Even though they may not necessarily need to be the ones that are coming up with the ads or creative, but you want somebody with a base that can tell you a good ad from a bad ad, right? So before they even launch a campaign, they can allocate budget accordingly. So these little things will make a big difference at the ad level. And you want to make sure that the person that you're bringing on has some sort of experience with that. With those four things, experience, spend levels, reference checks, as well as the person being full stack, I think you have enough tools in your arsenal to go out there and hire and outsource your YouTube ads, whether it's to an agency or to an individual.